Hello and welcome to episode 33 of the Universally Epic Podcast, your go-to Universal Orlando trip planning podcast. I'm Jim Klein, along with Taylor Franklin. We're your hosts and travel agents for all things Universal. On today's show, we talk about How to Train Your Dragon live action movie, and we go beyond Universal and talk about a local amusement park I went to on a field trip with my son. So, how you doing this week, Taylor?
I, you know,
We're pretending that we didn't just do another episode with this. uh,
the
yeah,
movie theater's great
yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, so we're gonna get into two things. I went on a field trip with my son this past week, and then you also saw the How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. So let's start with that, right?
Yeah, so I want to be clear. I have not seen How to Train Your Dragon.
Okay.
However, I work in a movie theater. I know I've talked about it a couple of times on the podcast. So I work in a movie theater. So I see a lot of um, everybody that comes through the theaters. My primary demographic for my theater is families, though. So we get a lot of like smaller kids and just like adults with a lot of kids. So I was I went into this week and I'm usually really good about guessing the box offices, like to a point where my boss will turn to me and he's like, "All right, Taylor, how do you think this is going to go?" And I'm like, "Oh, yeah." And then I'll tell him how I think it's going to go. And I've been right pretty much every time. Then How to Train Your Dragon came around, and I was like, "Oh, I don't know," because we've already had three wildly successful How to Train Your Dragon movies that all had theatrical releases, so it's not like in like Aladdin's case, right, where it was like Aladdin was really good, and then they had their direct to DVD sequels
Yeah,
that like five people watched.
terrible,
Um,
absolutely terrible.
the
It's
third
terrible.
one's really good. No, the third one's
I
really
don't know
good.
if I've seen the third one because I couldn't get over the second one.
It's
Like,
really good. The
uh,
second one's really bad. But so I was like, we've had three wildly successful ones, but that could mean that we're really busy for How to Train Your Dragon because these kids are going to want more How to Train Your Dragon. And my boss was like, okay. He's like, oh, I don't like when you can't predict the box office. And I was like, well, it is what it is.
yeah, it is what it is.
Um, but I kind of went into the week assuming that we were going to be busy at least Friday and Saturday. Sundays are always kind of a toss up because we do live in a a smaller community, um, and there are a lot of churches around us. So it really just kind of depends on if there's a movie that like grandparents want to take their kids to
Gotcha.
after church. And I did have a woman tell me that How to Train Your Dragon was demonic on a Sunday, so that was something. Um, because Toothless is a mythical dragon.
God.
And yeah, so that was a whole thing. Um, Absolutely no hate on her, but it did make me laugh. Um, but yeah, so I kind of was expecting us to be busy, and weirdly enough, most of our business came from older people actually, which was really fun to see because a lot of the times, we get like Lilo and Stitch, and that was super busy because like all these kids have grown up with Lilo and Stitch, and Stitch has been in the social zeitgeist for years
It
and
is
years.
insane how popular Stitch is. It is
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. My
Hmm.
daughter loves Stitch, but you go anywhere, you go to any store, there's like they license Stitch out like to
Stitch
pretty
is
much anything.
everywhere.
It is literally on every
Everywhere.
single piece of merchandise
Hmm.
ever like created. It seems like
Hmm.
it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, you throw a rock and you found Stitch merch. Like
Yeah.
there is Stitches everywhere. So kids have grown up with that their whole lives. Some of these kids, that's all they've ever known is Stitch being everywhere. So I expected that was going to be busy, and I was right. Um How to Train Your Dragon was going to be the toss up, though. I was like, this is going to be the one that's going to like ruin my record because I'm going to say it's not going to be busy and we're going to be slammed. It was mostly like the 20 something year olds that were in there that were buying the toothless popcorn buckets, and they were buying the toothless plushies, and they were, and like I had a little girl who's probably like no older than 10 maybe, who came up and she was like, Astrid's my favorite dragon rider. And I was like, that's great. And then
Awesome.
I got two little boys that were like twin boys, and they were like, Rough Nut and Tough Nut are my favorite. And I was like, oh, it was so sweet. And it's so interesting to me to see those kinds of things, because like we don't normally get, a movie that has quite taken people, that is has captivated people like that, where like, because like a movie that's been out for a similar amount of time, Frozen. When Frozen 2 came out, I was like, we are only going to be busy opening weekend. I'm putting money on it. We're only going to be busy opening weekend. And my boss was like, why is that? And I was like, because it's been too long.
Yeah.
It's been too long. Most of the little girls that grew up with Frozen are now in high school.
Hmm.
Like, it's been too long. And I was right. Um, so it's just one of those things where it's like I was pleasantly surprised to see the amount of people that just came out with admiration for the movie, and they didn't care that it was live action. They didn't care that it was a shot for shot remake of
Yeah.
the animated movie.
But
um
I think that's what's like good about it in a way.
I agree.
Because like I think Disney, when they're doing like every single one, that's like every animated movie now has a live action associated with
Mhm.
it seems, and they're like putting twists and like little things into it, and it's like
Oh
the
my
people
god.
that love that original movie don't want
Mhm.
it to change because that's why they're going to see
Yeah.
it, right? So like this is why I kind of wanted to see How to Train Your Dragon, because it is the actual movie, but like you
Yeah.
get to see it in a new like way, and
Mhm.
it's not like there's no other way to look at it. It's just
Yeah.
that's it. Like that's what you're going for, and I love that. I do. I
Mhm.
wish Disney followed suit with that because it would be nice to just, you know, Aladdin. I would have loved to see Aladdin. Like Aladdin's one of my favorite Disney
Yeah.
movies of all
I
time.
would have loved for it to be Aladdin's story and not Jasmine's.
Yeah, like, it was just it fell short a little bit, so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's cool that people are coming out for it.
That's always been my thing. I can welcome a good live action. I am a firm Beauty and the Beast live action movie. I think that movie was incredible.
That
They
one was
did
great.
reimagine the way that we saw Belle a little bit, but not so
Yeah,
much that she is not the same
I
character.
agree with that. That was a
But
very good
then,
live action. I agree
yeah, and they
100%.
did the same with Cinderella when with Lily James.
There's
Um,
been so many Cinderellas, I don't even
y-
I
yeah,
it's crazy.
yeah. But they did the same thing there, and then you get to this point that we're at now with Lilo and Stitch, where Nani gave up Lilo. Sorry to ruin the end of the movie. Nani gave up
I've heard this.
Lilo
Yeah,
to go be a marine biologist
yeah, it's
in America,
yeah.
like in California.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, and I didn't see the movie either, but like, you can't go anywhere without it all over TikTok on like how they
Yeah,
ruined the ending to that movie, and it's just like, why? Like, why? You had it.
I
You had it. Like
the core value of that movie, right, is that like Ohana
nobody
Man's
left.
family,
Yeah,
yeah, nobody gets left behind or forgotten.
yeah.
And so for her to just give up her little sister to social services was crazy to me. I couldn't believe it. I had to go sit in the theater and watch it, because like I listen, I'm gonna tell everybody right now. Here is the thing, okay? We get bored at the theater. We get bored, so we will go in and we will watch the movie, especially as managers. Our floor staff's not allowed to do that because they've got other things to do. But I don't need to do anything until someone needs me most of the time. Um, Other than like when my boss gives me tasks. But like if it's just a slow day, like we have to play those movies anyway.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
we go in and see it. So I had to watch the end of Lilo and Stitch because I was like, there's no way. Someone has to be pranking me. This is not real. Um, it is. And it's
It's
something. It's something. I'm sure that was for somebody, but I think I'll just watch the original Lilo and
yeah,
Stitch.
exactly. exactly. So this brings up, like, with How to Train Your Dragon live action. It seems, from what I hear, it seems like the character development in that movie has been great, where it's like it kind of can go into Isle of Berk at Epic Universe, right? Like,
Yeah,
where
I did
you're
hear
going to
that.
see those characters
Hmm.
now in the theme park and they're
Yeah.
walking around, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's really cool. Like,
Hmm.
so, like, I like that little, and obviously they plan that. It's not like it wasn't planned that way.
Yeah.
Like, but it's nice to see that that crossover is there and
Right.
it's bringing in new fans as well. So that's kind of cool.
Right. I think that that is what it always should be, and that's what I always thought they were going to do with the live action movies, is that they were kind of trying to, like, you see Ariel and she's a mermaid. You can't really do much with an animated mermaid, but you can do something with a live action
Yeah,
person. And now you're like, okay, that's Ariel, and when you see her in the park, you're going to be like, that's Ariel. So you get to
exactly.
see her.
Yep.
And you don't have to deal with, like, I'm sorry, Walt Disney, but your weird standards are weird. But you get to see people that look like actual people.
Yeah,
And I think
exactly.
that that's like a big thing. At least, like, I know Baby Taylor would have gone crazy for that, because she would have been like, oh my god, that person looks like me.
Yeah.
Um, and you're not dealing with, like, oh, here's this, like, cartoon, and, like, I'm gonna go to the park and I'm gonna see someone who looks nothing like the cartoon. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
And there's, like, the big disconnect there. But then, you watch the live action How to Train Your Dragon, and then you go to Isle of Berk and he's standing right there. Hiccup is right there. That
They
is
look
the
they
same
look so
guy.
similar. They look so
Yeah.
similar. Yeah, yeah. It's really pretty
Which, like,
incredible.
once again, commend
Yeah,
Universal casting, crazy. They
great,
are
great.
insane.
Yeah, they did a great job. They did a great job.
Yeah.
Um, all right, so let's move on to our next topic. And this past week, I went on a fifth grade field trip to a local amusement park. So we're going to go outside of Universal here, but I'm going to bring it back to Universal a little bit and to theme parks in general down in
Mhm.
Orlando. Um, so the Universally Epic Podcast is brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel, a Universal you preferred travel agency. If you're looking to plan your next Universal Orlando vacation, let's do it together. As certified Universal specialists, we can help guide you through the planning process with helpful tips and tricks along the way. The best part, all our travel planning services are free to you.
When you book your Universal Orlando vacation with us, you qualify for an exclusive booking bonus offer from the Magic for Less Travel, a $25 Universal gift card for all vacation packages over $2,500. Ready to start planning? Email the podcast at universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com and start planning your next epic Universal vacation today.
Fifth grade field trip, we went to this place called Adventureland. All right, it's located on Long Island, and it is a small. It's kind of like, think of like carnival rides, right? So, like, these are like off the shelf rides that this place purchases, and like they have like a gravitron like thing. They have a like a big swing, like those little chain swings that like spin you
I
around.
love the chain
Like,
swings.
they're
Oh, I
amazing.
love them.
They are. And bumper cars. They had this really cool like thing where my son stood on this like boat and it spun you around. Super, everything is super low capacity. Okay?
Hmm.
So when we were there, so we had our class. There's probably 4 or 5 other schools there. Now this place
Okay.
is small. It's not big. Now in terms of like number of attractions, like for their age group, maybe like 10 to 12,
Hmm.
10 attractions, but like I said, super low capacity. So like the one major ride that they have there is a spinning coaster, very much like Werewolf is, right? Curse of the Werewolf.
Hmm.
That's like it's a very very similar ride. But the line for that was so long that we're like, yeah, we're not, because all the kids had to leave at like 1:30 in the afternoon. We got there at like 10, so they only got 3 hours in the park. So like you're not going to spend an hour waiting online for one ride, you know? So okay, but when I tell you that the pricing in this place is just insane. So we had a group rate, and for what we paid, so we paid $35 per person. Okay, not bad at all. Like, okay, that's fine. Okay, but if you were to go on any other day and you were 2 years old or older, okay, so that's how they price it out. 2 years or older, it is $50 to get into this park. Now, when I tell you these rides, there was this one ride. It looked like a carnival ride, right? Where you like sit in this thing, you get strapped in, and it takes you up, and it kind of just flips you around a bunch. It looks like those old school like pirate ship ones that go back and forth.
Yeah.
This one didn't go back and forth. It kind of just went like up and then twisted. This thing was making
Oh, is it
sound.
like the big like bench seats and it's like you just like sit on it and then it like swings back and forth and then
Yep,
like
and it, like, flips you yes,
yeah.
exactly, right? This thing was making sounds that no ride should ever make, and these kids are just running back on this thing over and
I
over and
would.
over again. I'm like, "This is insane." This I'm like and myself and this other mom that was there, she's a big Disney fan, right? And I'm
Mhm.
like, I've never been on a ride at Disney that sounded like this. Like, she's like, no, me neither. I'm like, not at all. This is scary, right? They
Yeah.
had like antique car ride, right? Kind of similar to like a you know a speedway type ride, but it's like super tiny, and it's just like goes maybe I
Oh
don't know
no.
50 feet, and you're back at the like it's so cringy. Like the rides are
Uh-huh.
very cringy here, right? But
Yeah.
on Long Island, this is like a rite of passage for like all these school districts. Like everybody goes to on a field trip to Adventureland when they're in fifth grade. Like it's always a thing, right? And I used to go as a kid. Now, when I went as a kid, though, it was free to get in. It was one of those like free. You bought ticket books,
Oh,
and
okay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, or you could purchase like a bracelet, right? A
yeah.
pay one price bracelet. Now, back
Yeah.
in the day, it was like $15 for the bracelet, and you
Right.
still would beg your parents, like, "Hey, can we just get that? Because you just want to go on one ride over and over again." Like,
Right.
so, um, but when I was a kid, also they have like all these carnival games, right? Those like
Mhm.
games of chance, luck, whatever you want to call them, where you're like throwing a ball, like throwing a basketball in a hoop, or
Yeah.
like I don't know, hitting this like hammer, like a whack a mole thing, right? The
Mhm.
only problem is like when I was a kid, it was like $2. Okay, yeah, I know, I'm dating myself. But now, like you go to carnivals now, everything's like more expensive. I
So
don't know, like it's
expensive.
so expensive.
Yeah.
These games were like $10 each. Like, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that.
Oh
There was
no.
one game though, okay, and it
Oh
wasn't
boy.
even all right. This is so funny. So you know those like sledgehammer games where you ring the bell, right?
Yeah, like the strength test?
Yeah, the strength test, yes.
Yeah.
Right? So you get 2 swings for $10.
Okay.
Everybody wins, alright? So you get a
Okay.
prize no matter what. And the thing to get for these 5th grade students was this, like, 4-foot tall blow-up alien, okay?
Uh-huh.
And it was tie-dyed, like, so it was a tie-dyed alien that was just literally a big balloon,
It
basically,
sounds reasonable to me.
right? And I would say half the class now there's probably, like, 100 kids, 80 to 100 kids.
Oh
I
no.
would say half the class, like their parents in that morning said, here's, $10, $20, buy yourself either food or like candy or whatever, right? And what did they spend their money on? They spent it on a blow up alien, right? So at the end of the day, we took a picture and
Mhm.
there's all these aliens that these kids are holding up and they all have to get back on the bus. these,
Oh my
these,
god.
it was the funniest thing I've seen. These
That
kids,
sounds so funny.
every single person, right? They have like a little haunted mansion there, right? And
Uh-huh.
now, when I was a kid, the haunted mansion used to scare the crap out of me, right?
Right.
I'm not a horror guy, right? But this was such an old school classic haunted mansion. You sit in like what you would like a little buggy type
Like
thing.
a sit down one? Oh, I've
Yeah,
always
sit
wanted to
down,
go in one of those.
and like the doors would push open, like you would push the doors open basically with your. It was cheesy, but it was
Yeah.
dark. It was things jumping out at you, right? So I'm like, Ethan, we have to go on this. Like this was one of the best things when I was a kid, and they upgraded it. So I'm like, oh, it's got to be even better. When I tell you, this might be the worst ride I've ever been on in my life. I've been more scared trick or treating with my kid on lawn ornaments during Halloween than I had. It was literally they went to like Home Depot, right? And they bought like those
I'm
little
obsessed.
like things that are the sensor operated ones that like kind of jump out at you, but because you're in a car, like like you're moving around, they're so far away. It's
Uh-huh.
not dark. It wasn't dark at all. You saw the whole thing. And then at the end, right, they have this huge hallway that you're like, for some reason, it brought you up to a second story that nothing
Okay.
was there, basically. It was, and then
Oh my
at the end, so
god.
you get through and you go down and you're going down, and there's this long hallway to get down, and
Uh-huh.
there is nothing. And all you see is the light at the end, right, where you get off. And on the side is absolutely nothing, just black curtains, no pictures, no nothing, like zero. And we're going down this like little hill, and I'm like, what it and my son is looking at me, he's like, what is that, like what just happened there? I'm like, and we waited 40 minutes for this ride too, because the capacity is so low on it.
Uh-huh.
We were like, oh, we have to get on it, so all the kids want to go on it. We get on it and we're like, man, nope, not good.
I just
Not
found a ride through.
of this of Adventureland. Yeah, it's
This
awful.
is I'm keeping this for later. I have to see this.
It was the worst haunted house, or it's called Mystery Mansion. There's nothing mysterious or anything. That it was like if HHN was like this, I'd have no problem whatsoever. It would be awesome. Like I'd be like, yeah, this is easy. It is the worst. It was the worst ride I think I've ever been on. Um, um, what I wanted to talk about though is pricing. We talked about the pricing already, but it like makes you think like some of these, Epic Universe, you're in the hundreds per day, but
Mm.
look at all the extra stuff you get, like shows, attractions, walk around characters, right? This is a little tiny amusement park on the side of
Mhm.
Route 110 in Farmingdale, Long Island. Like it is just crammed in here, right?
Oh, come on, Jim. It has the best ride that's ever existed.
It is the worst ride that's ever, the worst. It was so bad. And they're charging
Sorry.
$50 to get in. $50. And then you want to play a game, it's $10. Like we didn't buy any no, I did buy I bought Dippin' Dots for my son. Those. They were cotton candy Dippin' Dots.
Ew.
I haven't had a Dippin' Dot in forever. Have you eaten have you
Yeah,
had
we saw them in my theater.
Yeah, they're great. They're actually pretty good. And I don't like cotton candy stuff, but this was pretty good. I was starving though too, so like that's probably went into it. Oh, we. So my son's like, "Can we get a funnel cake?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, we'll get a funnel cake. Like that sounds good." We go up to the one place and they're like, "Yeah, it'll just be a minute." I'm like, oh, "Okay, no problem." And they put it in like a one of those ovens that like Subway has. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
They're like $9, please. I'm like, awesome. This is great. This is it was the worst
They
funnel
didn't
cake.
even fry the funnel cake.
No, it was frozen from a box and they put it in a freaking in a convection oven. Like that's all it was. So this is all to say that the value that you get in these Orlando theme parks is an insane value when you put it into these local parks.
No, stop. The value there is amazing. The best ride in the world is there. The
Yeah.
best funnel cake in the world is there.
Oh my god. It was so. But you know what though? In all honesty, my son had a blast. Right?
And that is the important part.
It really is the important part. And like I got to keep him after the buses left, right?
Mhm.
So like after the buses left, we hung around. We got to go on like he got to go on more rides, and like he had a blast. So and some of his other friends that had parents there were able to stay. So
Yeah.
he had like another hour and a half extra in the
Oh,
park with his friends. Like he had the best time. So
did
like
they
I
go
was
on
super happy.
Mystery
I had
Mansion again?
what's that?
Did they go on Mystery Mansion again?
No, 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 no. They went on like other things, but yeah, it was you know, it's just it's think of like those like roadside carnivals that like come into town, but it's just permanent. It's like there forever. And this place has
I
been there
love
for
it.
a long, long time. Like it's been there since I was a kid. It's been there way before like I was even born. Like it is a
Mhm.
old amusement park. It's like the fabric of Long Island. Like people are like it is one of those places, right? But
Yeah,
it's just so cheesy and so like now, when you're a kid and you that's the only place you're going, you're like, "This is great," you know? And then you get
yeah.
that first taste at Disney or Universal, and you're like, "Oh, this is this is different," you know? Like, so
Like, oh, wow. The rides don't make the most horrific sound.
oh my god, this sound I was scared for these kids. It's so funny, all their cell phones are falling out of their pockets. They're using, like, grabby claws to, like, go into the machine.
Not the grabby claws.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Oh, it was so great. It was so funny. Um But also, what I wanted to also mention was there was a movie
Grabby.
based on this amusement park, right? And it's actually called Adventureland. It came out in 2009, and it was based on the movie creator's time he spent working in this exact amusement park during his, like, high school years. So, it's, you know, I have not seen that movie though. I should. I think I should
You
probably.
should watch it.
Yeah, I should probably hunt that down and watch it. But I knew there was a movie made about it, so I kind of like looked it up. But yeah, it was. Oh man, what a trip! But like I said, my son had the best day ever. So that's all that really matters. But when you put it into perspective, in terms of like pricing and like what you get for your money, like
Mhm.
Universal is just like it's you can't even compare the two, right? Like obviously,
Are
like
you sure?
it's just like, oh man, I'm spending $150 for the day at the theme parks, and it's like, yeah, because the other option is spend $50 and go on the worst ride I have ever been on. You know what
Can't
I
be
mean?
that
Like,
bad.
watch the ride. I got to figure out how to put links in our show. I'll put oh yeah I'll, no I'll put a show note link right
Mhm.
on the ride through video. It is atrocious. I can't even believe that I waited that long for this ride. But like I said, it's super low capacity rides and like the lines are, you have five schools at this park. It is tiny. It's
Right.
not a big park. It's not. I had a blast though on the bumper cars.
Those cars look horrifying. Hold on, I'm watching it right now. I'm gonna give everybody a live reaction. Those ride cars look horrifying. Oh, well,
Now
that's an open room.
now this is a newer one, right? So is it
Yeah.
they're like hanging though? It's
Mhm.
like okay, all right, good. Yeah, it's really bad. It was
Oh, I'm like almost positive that my mom had that light up skull that's at the end of this hallway, like in her house.
Taylor. They literally went to Home Depot. This is all Home Depot. And then so when I was a kid, they had this like haunted tree out front, right? That would talk to you. It was like kind of similar to like the fountain in where is that? Oh my god, Islands of Adventure,
Mhm.
right? And it would talk to you, and there was a guy that would talk to you through the tree, and it was talk. It's tucked in the back, doesn't even work anymore. I was so disappointed. I was so disappointed. That's to say, okay, so the Lost Continent in Islands of Adventure, I don't know if you saw this.
Mhm.
So where Sinbad used to be,
Yeah.
it's like now a cool down zone. I don't know if you've seen this. There's nobody there, but I follow this person on TikTok. This girl Jess, I forgot her last name or whatever. She was in there. She's like, "Yeah, check out this cool zone." And there's signs that point you back that way, and you could just chill out in the theater now.
Huh.
Yeah, very cool.
That's
So
neat.
There's
I'll
the
have to
two.
go check that out when we go
Yeah,
next.
yeah. You could just go back there and just check it out, and all the scenes are still there. Everything's there, and you're just chilling in the
Oh,
theater.
that's eerie.
Yeah, weird,
Eerie.
right? Yeah.
Um, so this ride has been wow. Oh, the spider outside in the broad daylight.
It's yeah,
Wow.
you go outside a little bit, like, when you get up to the top for some reason, like, because
Huh.
because they figured, I guess, when it rains, they could shut the ride down. Like, I don't know why you would do that in a haunted mansion, you know? It doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Oh, there's
It's
another
literally you go
spider.
outside for, like,
Nice.
3 seconds.
Yeah. You
Wait
just do
till
like one
you're
little
almost at the
loop.
end. You're almost at the
Yeah.
end. The big
They're
finale.
going down the yeah,
The
they're going
hallway of
down the ramp.
nothingness. Yeah, that's what that is. Is it all
Oh,
curtains?
no, Jim, there are 5 skulls.
On glow in the dark. Glow in the dark skull.
Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was a ride.
Yeah, this is where we went for it was so
I
fun.
love it for you.
It was
I hope
funny.
your son had the best time.
Oh my god. He was like, "What was that?" I'm like, "Yeah, I know. That was terrible. That's not what I was into." Like, I was so excited. Like, when I was like, I was able to go. I was so happy I was able to go as a
Mhm.
chaperone. And I'm like, "Yo, we have to go on the Haunted Mansion because it was so good back in the day. Like, yes, it scared you, but like it was so good." And then they have this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What in the world just happened?" But when I tell you I had the best time on the bumper cars, oh my goodness, we had such a good
I've
time.
never had a bad time on bumper cars, I
They're
think.
so much fun. They're
They're
so
really
much
fun.
fun. My back cracked a couple times though. I the first time I got on
Yeah, I'd
there,
imagine
I went on like
so.
3 times,
Uh,
and man, my back cracked so bad. I was like, "Oh, I'm getting old here."
it's never good. It's never good. You go on bumper cars once and you realize how old you are.
Oh my goodness. There was another one. It was called like Music Express, right? It was like one of those like it would go spinning around in circles, right?
Like
But it would
teacups?
like kind of had like humps going around, so you're going around in circles and then going like kind of up
Oh
and
my
down
god.
and around,
Dad would
right?
throw up.
Yeah, and my son's like, "Yeah, you want to go on?" This is after everybody left. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, I'll go on it with you." And now at
Mm-mm.
this time, like all the kids are leaving, so like there's no lines. Like you just keep going on as much as you want. So we went on once, and I'm like, "Oh, that was fun." He goes, "You want to go on again?" I'm like, "What am I gonna say no to my son?" I'm like, "Sure."
Yes.
And this is before we met up with the other kids that were like sticking around.
uh,
So we go on a second time, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm done. I can't do that. Well, the third time." And like, luckily, his
mm-mm.
friends were there, and I'm like, "Yeah, go on with your friends." Like, I'll,
That sounds hellish. Absolutely not.
it was so he loved that ride. He might have went on that like 7 times. He had the best time.
You're
Oh
so
my god.
rude.
Yeah, he had a good time. So, you know, I'm sure everybody has a story about like do you guys have like local theme parks down there? Like you have anything like that?
I haven't really explored here in Georgia, if I'm going to be
Okay.
honest with you, but I do have. So when I lived in Colorado, there was a amusement park called Elish Gardens.
Elish.
Elish Gardens. And it was so sweet. It was mm, the amount of time I spent at that park sober will shock you. um, because
I'm looking it up right now.
I didn't,
Oh,
I didn't.
so Elish Gardens, I'm looking it up right now,
Mhm.
is probably a billion times better than what I just
Yeah, it was really
experienced.
fun. I
Oh,
loved
they got like
Delicious.
legit coasters. Like
Yeah,
yeah, this is nice. They do
yeah.
have the same swing though as Adventureland. The swing is the
It makes
same.
the same awful noise.
Yeah, yeah, they have that. But
They
yeah,
have they had that, but there is a local one that was in California, and I don't remember what it's called, but I know that the entrance to it has 2 giant multicolored dinosaurs. Um, and I would have to ask my mom. I'll call my mom this week and I'll report back, but
that's
I'd have
funny.
to ask my mom what it was called. I want to say it's like legitimately, I think it's Dinosaur Park. Like I'm not sure, but I think it's called Dinosaur Park. And the big attraction, are you ready for it? The big attraction at this theme park. and I say theme park so loosely.
Well, that's the same as Adventureland, yeah.
This theme park was that you could crawl inside of the dinosaur and go all the way up to the top. That was it. That was it.
Why do I think I have been someplace that had that?
Because you
That's so
probably
funny that you say that because I almost am positive that I did do that in my life at some point.
You ever been to California?
I have when I was a kid. That's hysterical because we did
You
like
ever
a
found
whole.
yourself for some reason in the Mojave Desert?
No, probably not. I don't think so. Dinosaur Land.
It was like Dinosaur Park or something like that. I don't know. It was right next to the casino.
Yeah, I don't think that's it. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if the casino was there probably when you were going,
Cabazon
but
dinosaurs.
yes, the Cabazon dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yes, because it was right next to the Cabazon Outlet Mall.
That's so funny.
The big attraction was that you could climb up inside of a dinosaur and go to the top. You could even like go outside on the top. Like you could just go up to the top.
Most iconic. It says most iconic
I
roadside
don't know about
attraction.
that. I don't know about that.
I was in Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure. That's probably why I seen that.
Right.
Like that's probably
Right.
why. Oh, that's so funny.
I'd rather go to the Morongo Casino, which is like probably 2 miles away from it, and go swimming in their pools and go in their water slides.
Oh my god, that's hysterical. All right.
Okay.
So you ready to wrap this one up? So that's my
Yeah.
story on Adventureland. I'm gonna have to go
I
find that
need
movie.
to go. I
Yeah,
need to go to this Mystery Manor. I need to ride it.
it's listen. The cost for you to come up here and go to Adventureland, you would be wasting a lot of money. That's all I have to say.
Listen, no, I wouldn't.
Was so bad.
I have to go on the world's best ride and
Oh
eat the
my God.
world's best funnel cake.
The funnel cake was so funny and it was so tiny too. I was like, what is this? We ate it and we're like, this is rough. So cheesy. So terrible.
It's so funny.
So, all right. Let's wrap it up.
All right.
Like and follow us on YouTube and TikTok. Join us on our lives every Sunday night moving forward. We're going to be recording every other week moving forward. This episode has been brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. If you're looking to book a trip, email us at
universallyepicpodcast.com. No, universallyepicpodcast@gmail.com.
That's it. Like
We don't
always,
have a website.
And like always, have an epic week, everybody. On today's show, How to Train Your Dragon live action movie. Oh my god. What am I talking about right now? Oh my god. Okay. What am I saying about this? We talk about. Okay, that's what I wanted to say. I just didn't put the words in. Okay.